The Urartu Kingdom was a powerful state that existed in the Iron Age from around 850 BC to 550 BC. It was located in the Armenian highlands, surrounded by mountains and lakes, including Lake Van, Lake Urmia, and Lake Sevan. For a short period, Urartu was the most powerful state in the region, stretching from northern Mesopotamia to southern Caucasus, covering present-day Turkish Kurdistan, Nakhchivan, Armenia, and western Iran. However, constant wars weakened Urartu, and it has eventually disappeared in the 6th century BC. Many archaeological sites, including fortresses like Erebuni and Van Fortress, have been discovered within the kingdom's boundaries. The kingdom played a significant role in the Armenian nationalism, and its rediscovery in the 19th century further solidified its importance in Armenian history. The geographic region of Urartu was known by many names throughout history. The Assyrians called it Urartu, which is related to the biblical term Ararat. The Urartian kings referred to their kingdom as Banili, which may have become the name Van in Old Armenian. The region was also known as Nairi, a league of tribes or countries that eventually became part of the kingdom of Urartu. Other names used to refer to the region include Kaldini, Shurili, and Armenia. The name Armenia became a synonym for Urartu in the 6th century BC and was used in the Behistun inscription. The name Ararat was translated as Armenia in early Latin translations of the Bible and other historical works. Scholars have debated the meaning and pronunciation of these names, but ultimately they all refer to the same region. The Assyrian Empire first mentioned Urartu in the 13th century BC as one of the states of Nairi, a group of small kingdoms in the Armenian highlands. Urartu was located around Lake Van and was repeatedly attacked by the Assyrians. In the 9th century BC, Urartu re-emerged as a powerful rival to the Assyrian Empire. King Arame of Urartu unified the Nairi states and tribes, but his capitals, first at Sugunia and then at Arzaskun, were eventually captured by the Assyrians. During the 9th century BC, Assyria experienced a period of weakness, allowing Urartu to grow and became a powerful state in the Near East. King Sardurit I resisted the Assyrian attacks, consolidated the state's military power, moved the capital to Tushpa, and established a new dynasty. His son, Ispuini, annexed the neighboring state of Musasir, which became an important religious center of the Urartian kingdom, and introduced the cult of Haldi. He was the first king who started writing in the Urartian language, while previous kings left records written in Akkadian. After conquering Musasir, Ispuini was attacked by Assyrian king Shamshi Adad V. His co-regent and subsequent successor, Menua, enlarged the kingdom greatly and left inscriptions over a wide area. During their joint rule, they shifted from referring to their territory as Nairi to Bianili. Under Menua's son, Arjishti I, Urartu reached its highest point of military might, becoming one of the most powerful kingdoms in the ancient Near East. Arjishti added more territories, founded new cities, including Erebuni Fortress, and settled prisoners of war from Hatti and Supani. At its peak, the Urartu kingdom stretched across present-day Armenia, southern Georgia, and parts of Turkey and Iran. However, Tiglat-Pileser III of Assyria defeated the Urartian king Sardurit II in 745 BC, marking a turning point in Urartu's history. The Assyrians were impressed by the horsemen and horses of Urartu, which were superior to those in the south. In 714 BC, the Urartian kingdom was attacked by the Cimmerians and the Assyrian king Sargon II. The main temple at Musasir was destroyed, and the Urartian king Rusa I committed suicide after he was defeated at Lake Urmia. His son, Arjishti II, worked to rebuild and defend Urartu against the Cimmerians, and made peace with the new Assyrian king Sennacherib in 705 BC. Under Arjishti's son Rusa II, Urartu experienced a period of growth and prosperity. However, under Rusa II's son, Urartu was weakened by constant attacks from the Cimmerians and Scythians. As a result, Urartu became dependent on Assyria, with the Urartian king Sarduri III referring to the Assyrian king Ashurbanipal as his father. There were several kings who ruled Urartu after Sarduri III, including Rusa III and his son Rusa IV. During this time, Urartu was invaded by the Scythians and their allies, the Medes. In 612 BC, the Medes, along with the Babylonians and Scythians, conquered Assyria and later took over the Urartian capital of Van in 590 BC, effectively ending Urartu's independence. Some historians believe that Urartu may have survived until the mid-6th century BC, when it was eventually destroyed by Cyrus the Great. Many Urartian ruins from this period show evidence of destruction by fire. After the destruction of Urartu kingdom, the satrapy of Armenia had replaced it by the late 6th century. Little is known of what happened to the region between the fall of the kingdom of Urartu and the appearance of the satrapy of Armenia. The Beheshtun inscription from around 522 BC referred to Armenia and Armenians as synonyms of Urartu and Urartians. The Orontid dynasty, which ruled Armenia from the 6th century BC to the 2nd century BC, was hereditary and Armenian. They established their rule after the Scythian and Median invasion and later became client kings or satraps of the Median and Achaemenid empires. The Orontids played a crucial role in the formation of the ancient kingdom of Armenia. According to tradition, the Medes helped the Armenians establish the Orontid dynasty. There are two possible scenarios. Either the Medes conquered Urartu, which led to its demise, or Urartu remained independent and experienced a dynastic change, with the Median army helping the Armenian dynasties overthrow the ruling family. Ancient sources, including Xenophon and Strabo, suggest that Armenia was not conquered until the reign of Median king Astyages. Medieval Armenian chronicles, such as those by Moses Korenatsi, confirm this. The Armenian patriarch Skyorde Haikuzuni was a foe of Assyria during the reign of Sennacherib, and his son Paruir helped Cyaxares conquer Assyria, earning recognition as the king of Armenia. The Urartian kingdom eventually declined and the region was reunified under Armenia. The people of the region mixed and a unified sense of identity developed, with the Armenian language becoming dominant. Some researchers believe the Eteuni Confederation, located in northeastern Turkey and Armenia, may have referred to Armenian-speaking tribes. The Urartian language was used by the elite, but the population may have spoken Armenian. During the Persian Empire, as the Armenian identity developed in the region, the memory of Urartu faded and disappeared. The rediscovery of Urartu began in the 1820s, when German professor Friedrich Edward Schulz began to explore the Van area in 1827. Schulz discovered numerous cuneiform inscriptions, including the Kelshin stele, which had writing in two languages. Unfortunately, Schulz was killed by the Kurds in 1829, but his notes were later recovered and published in Paris in 1840. In 1828, the British Assyriologist Henry Creswick Ravlison had attempted to copy the inscription on the Kelshin stele, but failed because of the ice on the stele's front side. German scholar R. Roche made a similar attempt a few years later, but he and his party were attacked and killed. The first systematic collection of Urartian inscriptions, and thus the beginning of Urartology as a specialized field, dates to the 1870s, with the campaign of Sir Archibald Henry Sayce. Over the years, many explorers came to the area. They found more writings and artifacts, but some were stolen and sold. Today, many sites are still being explored, and archaeologists are working hard to learn more about the Urartian people and their history.